Welcome to Game of Roses. I'm Chad Colchin, aka BachelorClues. Today with me is a very special guest, Jess Ambrose of Your Mom and Dad. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? I'm always so supremely honored to be part of the Gore universe. It's part of like lore that I've allowed for myself when people, because it gets brought up a lot. It gets brought up a lot, Clues.
Yeah.
When I'm out and about, people bring up Game of Roses and I'm like, guess what? I know them.
Know them. I believe you are potentially one of the most important parts of Gore lore in that you really facilitated the existence of the podcast by having us on your show 6 years ago. Oh my God.
Listen, I just saw absolute God level content and I'm like, I want to get my hands into whatever you all are on. I want to take some.
A lot. Hint, a lot. We're on several different things. Right now, in fact, Pace Case is on maternity leave.
Oh, Pace Case.
I know.
I'm so happy for her.
She's out there bringing new life into this perfectly fine and happy world.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with it. I don't know. Right? I haven't heard of anything going on that's bad, right?
No.
I just
my other podcast is a podcast about politics with my parents. That can clue you into maybe what's wrong with the planet.
Do I know your other podcast? I'm a massive fan of The Necessary Conversation. I am a massive fan.
Okay.
And I'll say this. In recent years, I've kind of tapped out of a lot of, I've gotten deep into romantasy novels. And
fantastic.
kind of excommunicated from a lot of other TV shows and other forms of media. The Necessary Conversation is one of the few things that I am completely tapped into.
That's where you get your news now.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
Speaking of romantasy, do you watch or have you read Outlander or any of that world?
I have absolutely read it. Yes.
Did you see the show?
I have not.
Okay.
I am not a person who often reads and then watches because I tend to be one of those probably annoying audience members that pictures a certain thing in my head and then I feel sad. And you know what? They're doing a great job. They do what they can. I've heard it's a fantastic show. Right? Is that the one I'm thinking of? It's
with Jamie and Claire. Sassenach.
Okay.
Dinnerfash Sassenach.
I've seen clips and I think I've heard things, but the book is it for me.
Okay, fair enough. Pace Case and I are fascinated with the show. Today, though, we're not here to talk about any of this.
Okay.
Jess Ambrose, we are here to discuss the top 10 moments in Bachelor Nation of 2025. I prepared a list. Feel free to add to it, to subtract from it if you wish. If you think some of these things are not meant for this list. However you want to do this, we can do this. But 2025, I think it's beyond the scope of argument, was one of the most tumultuous years in the history of the franchise in terms of shakeups at the highest levels of the producerial tiers, in terms of certain products not even being produced this year, in terms of folding the Goldens into the franchise in a bigger way, in a worse way in some cases, and in terms of my own personal involvement in the document itself. All of these things are on this list.
I'm very excited to talk to you about being in the document.
Okay, let's start then at our number 10 most important moment from Bachelor Nation in 2025. This is like a year-end wrap-up thing. It was, in fact, BachelorClues being in the document. Now, thank you very much. You guys watched this season. Did you notice me in the background of Peg's OC Fair Date?
Well, I absolutely did. I rewatched it numerous times. I rewatched, because I saw it. Well, to be fair, I saw it on social media, and then I'm like, oh my God, fully honed in, watched it numerous times, and I'm like, did Clues see God on that day? Did you come face to face with a supreme being?
It was hot enough that day that I was hallucinating. I will say this about the entire event. I was, tipped off to the fact that it was going to be happening at this location, at this time, on this date, show up at this gate where the players will walk through, blah, blah, blah. I didn't at the time know who I was seeing, but it was Peg. It was the ring winner. It was her date. And we walked in, God, my poor girlfriend, she hated it because it was so hot. And I was like, please come with me. I can't be this creepy dude in all black, just lurking in the background. I need you as a shield, to legitimize my presence there, or to at least make people less scared. And she did it. She was a trooper. I can't thank her enough. We walked in and we saw right near the front gate a team of maybe 3 or 4 producers in all black on their walkie-talkies, and this woman who was Peg, we would come to find out later, literally doing like high kicks and stretches and cartwheels and shit, like getting ready to come into the show, like her pro wrestling entrance, basically, like she's about to run down the ramp and dive in the ring. God, it was great.
There's a few things. First of all, I do think that you being at that moment at that time did some sort of like time continuum thing, and that's what made Peg become the ring winner. I would credit yourself a bit to it. There was some sort of quantum energy happening where it's simultaneously colliding. It's like, well, this is who it's going to be now. It has to be. And secondly, I just have to say, the inspiration that I've taken that over the years, Gore Inc. and the Gore audience have, to the duress of production, figured out so many ways to get into the document. It's like an inspiration to, it's like a demonstration against the man. Honestly, it's a beautiful example of it. And
God, I wish I have so much other, how to even put this, things I can never directly talk about in my kind of manipulations of the show, or at least influences on big pieces of certain things, all the way from like training players to go in and do whatever they're doing. I can't disclose obviously how far any of them have made it, but let's just say they've had strong influence over the face of the franchise for the past 3 or 4 years. But that's my favorite part of doing this podcast, is like that I get to play The Bachelor almost like a video game. I love it.
Do you think, and please, I want zero humility in this answer. Okay. Do you think if the franchise listened to everything you and Pace Case were saying, how big do you think this show could be? Like, what level on the reality TV scale could it get to? Because we're seeing it crashing these days.
I think biggest show on TV. I have no doubt about it. I don't. I think that I have like kind of studied reality TV long enough and intricately enough at this point that I see the entire system, and I see exactly how to turn that system into its kind of most efficient, biggest version of itself, whether it's Bachelor or any other show for that matter. And I've started pitching reality shows a little bit to various production companies and studios and stuff over this past year. And it's been a very eye-opening experience. The people making the shows, by and large, don't understand the system at all. And a lot of them are still caught up in this kind of old school mentality that reality TV is frivolous bullshit, guilty pleasure, who cares, for stupid people type thing. And so when you're pitching them these shows that are like the next step in the evolution of this, pushing this forward to a level that is commensurate with professional sports, they are like, no, that's bullshit. We need to make fun of these people. And it's very disheartening, but the time will come. I
love that answer. And I just need you to know that I believe it wholeheartedly. Like, there's no part of me that doesn't believe that. It will come and it will be the biggest show on television.
Well, I mean, the stuff I'm kind of looking at now, honestly, with production costs starting to get lower and lower, and you can buy like a good 4K camera for a few $1,000s, and it's small enough that you can kind of do some rogue incognito shit. I'm potentially, I think in 2026, just going to make something and put it on YouTube.
God. Thank God.
And we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too.
So excited.
Speaking of the system not letting the little guy in to do creative things, our number 9 most important moment this year just happened. Netflix, or maybe Paramount, is going to buy Warner Brothers.
I am in shock. Can you please, because again, I've been unfortunately deep in romantasy and children's theater, volunteering at children's theater.
Sure, of course.
Can you break this down a little bit for me? Yes. Can you break this down a little bit for me?
Engaging with your family. Smart. It's smart. I think it's a good move. So Warner Brothers is going to be bought. Netflix had the winning bid, but now Paramount is trying to come in and backdoor it. This is the Ellison family who owns TikTok. They own Oracle. They are trying to own all media, basically.
Oh, shit.
I think in terms of Bachelor, like looking at this as Bachelor only, which it's obviously not. Netflix doesn't have their own gigantic IPs yet. They don't have the big like media engine worlds that can just generate 10 TV shows and 15 movies every year like Disney has with Star Wars and Marvel and all that shit. So if they get Warner Brothers, they get that. They get the DC universe, they get Harry Potter, and they get Game of Thrones. Endless content engines. I think if Netflix gets it, that's all they want. And I think everything else is thrown in the trash can, including the executive tier at Warner. I just don't know why you would double your costs, basically, when all you really need is these IPs to make that shit for yourself. Wow. And so Bachelor, I think, gets dumped in the trash can. I could be wrong, but Netflix already has the NRU. It does very well for them. Love is Blind is their Bachelor. I don't know why they would need the Bachelor or why they would want to do that. Chris Colin and Kinetic Content kind of already have it locked down there. So I think it would be a very bad thing for Bachelor. If Paramount gets it, I think the opposite. They don't really have a dating show. They have some big shows and stuff, obviously some big reality shows. I think Drag Race is on Paramount, if I'm not mistaken.
It's my favorite reality TV show.
Yeah. It's gigantic. But they don't have a dating format. So they might be more amenable to like continuing The Bachelor, and we're just going to have it on Paramount Plus now. But also I don't really want the Ellison family to get it all, because then they control everything, and everything we're seeing is, not to get into politics, but everything is pro-Trump.
Yes. Well, that was what I knew about. And that was where it's like pulling my hair out. Like, oh my God, how is everything falling into this? Like, my God.
It's just money. Who got the most money gets it all, period.
Is there a specific like corporation or production group or whatever that you think would be like, this is good news?
No, I mean, the best news for Bachelor, I think in terms of that question, is like keeping things as they are, because there's incentive for Warner Brothers to continue to make it, even if ABC dumps it. ABC just does like a licensing deal. We will put it on our airwaves, but Warner Brothers, you own it, you make it, you pay for it. Okay. And I don't know what their deal is, but Warner Brothers gets some amount of that ad revenue when it airs on ABC. They also have a licensing deal with Hulu, and ABC and Hulu have a deal together. It gets all very like incestuous, but the bottom line is Warner Brothers owns the content. It owns all of the back seasons. It has produced every season financially, so it owns everything, and it owns the show. They have made a shitload of money off of it, and I think they want to continue to do that. Netflix doesn't give a fuck. They don't do ads. So it's not like network TV. They don't make money off broadcasting. They make money off you and me paying $15 a month to watch whatever they've got. Right. And if we're already doing that to watch Love is Blind, why would they like burden themselves basically with a whole other show that's like kind of the same show? Right.
And I feel like every other spin-off romantic reality TV show that they've done that's not associated with Love is Blind has kind of flopped. Has flopped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. They
really? Like, what was the one? I'm thinking of the one where it was like a bunch of singles and they were at like a motel. Something that I saw.
A motel.
It like the cover of it was like a motel, and I remember seeing it this one for a moment, and it was kind of in a space where there wasn't Bachelor or Love is Blind to cover, so we were trying to figure out what are we going to cover, and I saw that for a second. Interesting. And I'm like, maybe we do this, and then it just disappeared off the face of the planet. Maybe it's those small shows that I'm thinking of that like pop up like a
they take romantic some shots here and there, but they've got Too Hot to Handle, which is big for them. They've got Perfect Match. That's now a third wave show that's going to be on this list coming right up. I just don't think they would see like the monetary value in keeping that show, or quite frankly, in keeping Warner Brothers as a production apparatus. They already have that. They already have an executive tier who's greenlighting stuff and deciding what gets made. And if you just are buying Warner Brothers for these 3 giant IP machines, it's worth it, honestly. Because now how many Harry Potters can we crank out? How many DC universe can we crank out? And I don't know what that means for like James Gunn has a deal. He's now controlling the DC universe. I don't know what that means for his deal. I have no idea because that deal was with Warner Brothers.
This is fascinating. I'm like, I just recap. I don't know about this world, so it's just fascinating to hear about.
Yeah, I mean, it's just money.
I try my hand at recaps.
I don't know if this will have any effect on Bachelor. Yeah. That's why I put it kind of low on the list. But
like you said, politically then too. I mean, that's then.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, we'll get into that. The current Bachelorette is like, if you want to talk about politics, she's leaning one way. That's for sure. Let's move on to our number 8 most important moment from this year, as I see it anyway, in Bachelor Nation. We saw some Bachelor Nation superstars hosting other shows and events within franchises, namely the great one, Nicholas Viall, hosted
the great one himself.
the season 2 Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion. And we had Colton Underwood and Caitlin Bristow hosting Are You My First, aka Virgin Island on Hulu. Did you see any of this?
I am starting Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So I will be coming face to face. I will be coming face to face with the great one very soon during the reunion. Though I heard, what was it, Stassi, who did now the reunion that he got
she
booted?
Did season 3. Yes,
truly
and there's conjecture as to why that is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was because he was bad. Objectively, that's true. Maybe, though, it's because he's hosting a show for the NRU now with Natalie Joy about age gap dating called Age of Attraction.
I have heard that rumor swirling around.
This is real. This is no rumor.
And
it's
when
happening.
I say I am chomping at the bit to get my eyes on that TV show.
Oh my God.
I'm patiently waiting. I would imagine, well, I guess contractually if he couldn't host, but I was like, the man makes time for everything and anything that he can do. Say what you will about the great one. He does a lot. He never
does
sleeps.
Do a lot. Yeah. Look, he works hard. I'm not begrudging that man that.
Vampire vibes, never sleeps.
Yeah. I have that as well. I try to get as little sleep as possible. Is that good?
You're also one of the great ones. It's just a different version of the great one. Yeah. You understand?
Of course. Yeah. I'm the great one where urban squirrel photography is concerned. I think I don't know if he's making a mistake or not to do this show. Like, if you get an opportunity to host a Netflix reality universe show, you have to take it because you could be the next Nick and Vanessa Lachey. You could be printing money for the next 20 years. Maybe. I've seen Nick Viall now in multiple of his outside endeavors. I'm talking about all the acting that he did. He was in a Vivica Fox Hallmark movie, I think, or Lifetime movie. Not good. He was in an episode of a network sitcom called The Middle, I believe, if I remember that was right, where he played a substitute teacher. Yes. He is not a good actor. And you need those things to be a good host, I think. You need to be able to like do things on camera. I saw this Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion that he hosted. He's not good at that. I watched the entire season of The Matchmaker with Patty Stanger and Nick Viall as her sidekick.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable that you're doing this. I did not witness The Matchmaker.
I love her. I think she's fantastic. Did you ever watch her old show, Millionaire Matchmaker?
Yes. Now, I will tell you what, watching those old episodes, traumatizing to a level that younger Jessica never realized until witnessing it again, where I was like, it was like watching America's Top Model, where I'm like, oh, that's what I was being told? No wonder I'm in therapy. But an incredible presence on reality television. She really is.
Yeah, absolutely. But they cut Viall basically out of that show. If they didn't need his dialogue to like further some story exactly, he was not present in the entire show. So I don't have a lot of confidence in his hosting skills. But, I will watch every episode.
I am very interested how the general pop will react to the theme of the show in general. Yeah,
I mean, I can see why they're the hosts of it, obviously.
But of course.
And I'm like, was it his idea? Did he create this? Or did somebody inside the NRU be like, we should do an age gap dating show and get them to... I don't know.
If I could place a bet, I would imagine it was a Viall idea.
Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see if he's credited as the creator or not, if he's the Mike Fleiss of his own little universe. But we also saw Colton Underwood and Caitlin Bristow tap to host this virgin dating show on Hulu, which I'm like 2 or 3 episodes into at this point on our Patreon. They're terrible, but it's not entirely their fault.
Oh no, for Colton, but for Caitlin. Yeah.
He's way worse than she is, by the way.
But Caitlin.
KB is
shout
like,
out.
Yeah, she's putting some effort into it, and it's like the scripts they're giving her, they try to do like little jokes in it, similar to Love Island. You know how Ian Sterling comes in and kind of intros and outros every scene. They kind of are doing that, and the writing is just abysmal. It's like you can't make it funny. Caitlin Bristow's trying, you know.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with it, right? I guess because everything I've ever seen of KB, she is a powerhouse hosting wise. She did a fantastic job on The Bachelor hosting with Tayshia, on The Bachelorette, excuse me. But yeah, I guess when you don't have,
they're not. It's like on camera.
It's like the early 2000s Star Wars when you have Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson and Natalie Portman struggling. That's the writing.
100%. But nonetheless,
and I'm not comparing Colton to Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. Colton and Liam Neeson. Colton Underwood is the Liam Neeson of Bachelor Nation. I think that whether these shows are good or their attempts at this are good or bad, kind of irrelevant. Bachelor players are getting these shots now to host other big shows, whatever, this and that, which brings me to our number 7 most important moment this year in Bachelor Nation. Bachelor Nation went 3rd wave and appeared in the Netflix reality universe with Clayton Echard, the Ultimate Viking, and Rachel Recchia appearing in season 3 of Perfect Match. Wow. Mind blowing.
No, that was absolutely mind blowing. That was shocking. That was so exciting to witness that crossover. I think it was very, very smart on the Perfect Match's part. The more franchises that I can see in one cast of the show like that, the better. It's like, it's what Traitors does that's so fantastical, that makes Traitors so magic, is that there's someone for everyone on the cast.
It truly is the mixed martial arts of reality television. I love seeing the different play styles coming head to head. You saw in that Perfect Match season 3, unfortunately, the Ultimate Viking just got wrecked. But Rachel Recchia, like, it was great to see her play again, and I thought she handled it very well. It's interesting to watch, like, you were leads in the Bachelor franchise, and that show is produced how it's produced. Now you get to come into this weird group dating format. Will you be given respect simply because you wore the crown? Maybe, maybe not, depending on who you're going up against in the NRU. I absolutely love that season, and I hope they do more of it.
They absolutely should. Did you hear any? Did you? Of course you did. You're the great one. But did you hear, interview wise, what their thoughts were being part of that franchise versus being in the Bachelor and Bachelorette world?
We did some digging deepers when they were coming off the show, and I can't remember exactly, but my kind of impression of it, I hope I'm correct in this and I'm not misremembering, was basically that it was like more fun for them than Bachelor was. That Bachelor like really grinds you down and you don't have any leeway to do anything. And the Netflix shows, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever, get out there, fuck around, we'll get it on camera. And that's basically like how they do the whole show.
Love that much more.
Yeah. It was way more fun is what it seemed like. Speaking of way more fun, I don't know, that was no transition to lead into this, but nonetheless, I'm doing it. Our number 6 most important moment that happened in 2025, think all the way back to January of this year, almost a year ago now, we got Grant Ellis's season 29 of The Bachelor.
The lone wolf.
Yes.
Ooh,
the lone wolf who loved his basketball and his piano in the Beverly Center. I was so fucking jealous of that date that he went on with Alex.
Chad, I was foaming at the mouth.
You love the Beverly Center?
I love the Beverly Center.
Me
and
too.
I love a mall in general. I love mall culture.
Me too. Did I ever tell you what I did for my 40th birthday party?
No.
I wrote this weird thing. It was 30 one-page scripts between 2 characters. And I made my buddy from film school join me in producing this and acting in it. We hired this kid off Craigslist to fly a drone, and we went to 30 different malls around Southern California. stood in front of them, delivered performances of this weird script, and then this kid we hired off Craigslist flew the drone out, started on our faces and flew it out until the end of it is a shot of whatever mall we were standing in front of. I love malls.
Did you, in between, hit like a Wetzel? Did you hit an Auntie Anne's? You just
the first day we went out, we got run off. We went to a mall at like 11:30 in the morning, and security was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here!" So we had to shoot all this shit at like 5 a.m. before the malls opened.
Oh my God. That's beautiful work. What an incredible way to ring in your 40th. I love that you love them all. And the Beverly Center is one of the greats. And I was wildly jealous.
Me too. Wildly. I work out in the Beverly Center now.
You really?
Yeah. They opened a Gold's Gym there at the beginning or early part of the year.
I don't go to a gym, but I mall walk. That's how I get my steps in. I go to the Galleria and I mall walk over and over and over again.
I love that mall.
Especially during the summer.
That mall was the first episode of that little thing that I shot.
As it should be. It's one of the greats.
Yeah, I know. It's one of my favorite ones in LA. Anyways, we're not here to discuss malls. We're here to talk about Grant Ellis' season. What did you take away from his season, if anything?
Grant Ellis's season was an interesting one for me because I didn't understand how it wasn't bigger. No shade to Grant. He was a lead that didn't give us lots. And I'm fine with a lead that doesn't give us lots when we have an incredible cast. And I thought the cast for Grant's season was fantastically dramatic. And it was pretty shocking to me that it didn't pop the way that I assumed that it would. It was one of those seasons where I thought, okay, the first couple episodes, they didn't get as many views, but by the third, people are going to start talking about it because Crazy and Evil.
I know.
She was my life.
Carolina Quijano. Yeah, she was fantastic.
Was my life.
When she wore that jacket to the Women Tell All. Oh, God.
There was an energy where it was like she reminded me of a Maria. Obviously different
100%.
Different energies, but a similar tone where people had polarizing opinions and they were electric on screen. I mean, I loved it.
I agree. It was a very poorly rated season. And I think for my money, it was because of two things. One was Grant. He was a little lackluster, as you're saying. He didn't give a lot. Number two was, it was kind of it was like the hangover from Jen Tran's season. People were so turned off by that season. They checked out of the franchise entirely. So everything this season or this year in 2025 had really low ratings. Two of the lowest rated Bachelor products of all time were two of the three things that they made this year.
That makes so much sense because coming off of her season, I think all of us were extremely distraught, disturbed, perturbed, all of the things. So that makes sense then going into Grant's season.
I agree. And it leads us to our number 5 most important event, moment, whatever you want to call it, of 2025. It was the dismissal of Bennett Graebner and Claire Freeland, the two executive producers responsible for Jen Tran's season, and every season back about 2 or 3 years prior to that. They kind of stepped into the void left by Elon Gale when he fled the franchise after Colton Underwood's season back in 2019. There was always like a power struggle for who is going to be the official showrunner. And these two, Bennett Graebner had it. Then they took Claire Freeland from Bachelor Canada. They brought her in a couple of years ago. And there were many articles written about all of the things I'm about to say about them. Claire Freeland was the one who made the choice to have Jen Tran watch back her proposal to Devin Strader in that crushing moment where Dark Lord Palmer says, "Do you want to watch it back?" And she says, "Do I have a choice?" That, to me, that moment where she says, "Do I have a choice?" I think just wiped the fandom. And that's why nobody watched Grant's season, because there were so many people who saw that and were just like, "Fuck you. I'm not watching this."
Did I have the choice? Did I have a choice? Do I have a choice? Katniss Everdeen. It was full Hunger Games on the stage. I couldn't I couldn't believe what I was watching when I was witnessing it live.
When I saw it happen, I was like, is this the end of The Bachelor? You cannot do that to a lead, especially because that year, we're going back a little bit now. We're getting back into 2024, but that right before that season came out, before it aired, it already shot. Claire Freeland and Bennett Graebner knew what was in the season. They went into the LA Times. They gave a big, long interview where they both said, we have done a bad job of having the backs of our leads. That changes with Jen Tran. We have her back. This season's different, blah, 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 blah. Multiple guys in her season had fucking restraining orders. They do that horrible thing to her in the end. It was like, unsafe. They just lied to us. And as a result, they were terminated from the franchise under and amidst allegations of toxic workplace environment type shit. And there was a Deadline article that broke this news. And that Deadline article, there was a solid week where just like the comments were lighting up, hundreds per day of people, anonymously, of course, but like people who worked on Bachelor saying like, yeah, these two people fucking suck. They need to get the hell out. This is a good move for Bachelor. But then what happened was, well, we'll get to it. But that Deadline article, I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, it's interesting because this year, as the franchise has been, crumbling, when you see a moment like that where two people who have facilitated a toxic workplace are removed, it's a moment of rejoicing. Because in recent days, for the first time ever, I've been on set for a few different things.
Oh.
And yes.
Can you disclose?
It's not me. It's my child who has over the years been begging to get into the film and television industry. And I said, absolutely not for many years. And then we had many conversations with different people. And I found out that at least the sets that I've been on are now extremely protective of children. It's pretty incredible what the voices of a lot of hurt people have changed now, because in the industry, it's like, I am more eyes on her on set than I ever would be like in a school situation. I mean, it is like I am glued to her and she is protected. But
that's awesome though. Congrats to her.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So she's got a couple things coming out in the new year.
Oh
kind
my
of exciting.
God.
A couple big things.
That's awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah, a couple big moments.
What? Like, is she starring in TV shows and shit? Movies?
She's not starring.
Okay.
She's having like a couple reoccurring parts, a couple co-stars. There was a recent thing that was announced that she would have been the lead for. She didn't. She was right there. She almost got it. It wasn't the right time. I was so proud of her. She was unbelievable. She's just, and it's her life. Like she literally, she lives and breathes. It's theater, it's film. She is a busy kid, and nothing like brings her joy like being on set. It's like she lights up and it's crazy.
I remember like some of the very first Instagram reels I ever saw that you put her in and she was like dancing around. I don't even remember what it was specifically, but I was just like, this kid's a fucking superstar. This kid's going to be famous as fuck. Oh my God.
She's pretty incredible. And I think one of the things that made me realize like, oh, she's ready for this, because I, as a parent, I have many concerns in many different ways, but I also want her to help her pursue her dreams if that's what she wants, and support them as best I can. But there was a moment where she ended up singing at her school. She normally keeps that private because she's got some stuff at school sometimes where she's like, no, that's for my theater, not at school. She sang at school. The kids went wild. They were asking for her autograph after. They were following her out. They were following her out of the school. And she gets in the car and I'm like, Ember, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. How are you feeling? And she goes, good, but they'll forget about me tomorrow. Happy as a clam. And I'm like, that is what it's just for you. You do it for the love of your passion. And so anyway, been on set recently.
Okay.
And been blessed to be on sets that have had all really incredibly wonderful working environments.
Yeah.
If it wasn't an incredible working environment, I'd be like, sayonara, we're leaving. But being in that world, and this is, I'm preaching to the choir, it has been jarring to me to think about anyone who number one, reality TV in general, because I'm like, when you're being in these worlds and then thinking about it actually being putting yourself, not a character, out there is unbelievable to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then beyond that, it's so intense that it's like you see how it could be incredibly wonderful or the worst thing that's ever happened to someone. So thinking about people who are coming off, talking about these toxic places and these environments, it really has like hit home in a different way, just seeing the mechanics and how many people are involved and, high energy. And that's been kind of mind blowing to me. And we've been watching the most recent season of Love is Blind and just seeing how the production is just over serving every single person and not taking care of their cast. It's just mind boggling. Yeah. So anyway,
Love
my
is
long
Blind
speech
is, God, it's one of the most sinister shows ever made, I think. They also they protect one or two couples and then the rest of them, fuck you. We're going to make you look as bad as we can.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to ruin your life. They do it every season. It's unbelievable.
Season. It's insane.
Speaking of, no, not ruining life. How do we get to this? What's the transition here? It's this. Bennett Graebner and Claire Freeland made the workplace environment so toxic that this year, the number 4 most important moment that happened was we didn't get no Bachelorette. They announced they were not making Bachelorette. This is the first time this has happened since Bachelorette has been on an annual cycle back in 2003, maybe? I mean, 20 years has gone by with a Bachelorette every year. Some years there are 2 Bachelorettes. Some years there's 3 fucking Bachelorettes. You remember that year when they did?
Oh, yes.
3
and
in a
I'd
year?
say the more the merrier, because this was devastating to me because The Bachelor is far superior, in my opinion, than The Bachelor.
Bachelorette, you mean?
Yes.
It's superior to Bachelor. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I like them both a lot. For me, I like Bachelor more because the players in Bachelor are always way better than the players in Bachelorette. But it just, for me, it was the whole kind of seasonal arc of Bachelor narratively for me. And I think for a lot of the fans is you watch all of these women in January play their season of Bachelor, and you get one of them comes out of that gets to be the Bachelorette, either because she has the biggest victimization edit or whatever the case may be. All players are different. They all have their different styles and intonations and whatever. But that's really what The Bachelor, to me, the franchise is. I'm watching a rookie go from their rookie season in Bachelor to wearing the crown as a Bachelorette. And you don't get that entire back half. The payoff, basically, to a rookie season is just gone. It was terrible.
It was devastating. It was devastating for me personally. Like I said, I prefer The Bachelorette. I love the players on The Bachelor, but doing a recap podcast, I prefer a whole crew of men that I can roast over women. Queens. I don't want to roast these queens. I like to roast these men. So that's what I prefer. But no, I mean, it was for all, like you said, the lead up to then not have people have the opportunity when they thought this was a possibility was truly devastating.
When they announced this shit, I was making YouTube videos and making my little thumbnails that had a tombstone with The Bachelor RIP on it and shit. Cause I was like, this is it. The franchise, if they just start going to this thing where it's this year we'll do a Bachelor, next year we'll do a Bachelorette, you don't retain audience. And this year was a good example of it, I think. There was no Bachelorette to watch, so everybody fucking watched Love Island. And guess what? Those people ain't coming back. If you got to make a choice between watching Bachelorette on the night it airs or Love Island season 8, it'll be this next year, you're watching that one because you ain't going back. That's a different type of drug.
No, it's so good.
Yeah.
God, it's
Bachelor
good.
is a couple of glasses of a good wine. Love Island is crack cocaine injected straight into your fucking one arm and the other arm's heroin. And you're I need it all the time. That show is on 5 days a fucking week. And that's not enough for me.
I know. Can you believe when we decided that we were going to recap it and I told Evan, my husband, that, hey, we're going to do because we are both huge Love Island fans, the British, the UK version from years ago, and then we kind of stopped watching it. When I said, hey, let's recap this, and he found out how many episodes there were a week that we were going to be having to watch, he was like, I don't know. 2 episodes in, he was literally just like, I need more.
Yeah. What's happening with Huda? Where's Huda? I need to know everything that's going on with Huda right now.
His whole For You page was all Love Island, which never happens with any other reality TV show with him. He was like, did you hear? I mean, it was insane. I was like, yes, it is a drug.
Love Island's great. I'm glad it's out there. I can't wait for this next season. I mean, it's just done so well. Everything on that show is perfection. The editing, the pacing, the fact that they turn it around in 24 hours, fucking insane.
Unbelievable.
I absolutely love that show. But I do think not having the regular pattern of Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, Golden now, the 4 kind of products over the course of a calendar year, we'll see what happens as we get higher in this list, because there are some things they've done well, I think, that might revitalize this. But you need a Bachelor and Bachelorette every year. You need to have that. They feed into each other. It's the same show, basically. It's just like not having half of it leaves you like, well, what the fuck was Grant Ellis' season then?
I feel like the removal of The Bachelor, like you said, it makes complete sense that if you remove something, it's like, you know, if you stop posting on social media, the algorithm removes it. People start forgetting. It's like me. I haven't posted on social media in many a moon, and slowly I disappear into the cloud and enigma. People just forget. There's so much going on. You need The Bachelorette.
Absolutely. Speaking of so much going on, let's move to our number 3 most important moment from this year. And it was The Golden Bachelor season 2. Where to even fucking begin? I just did an interview with Cindy, the runner-up.
Yes, I saw.
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
She's so smart, so funny, and revealed some, behind the scenes kind of things that are like, oh, Mel wasn't just a complete fucking boring piece of shit. Why wasn't the thing she's telling me now, whatever the thing, she had a couple little stories that were like, why wasn't that in the show? And I don't get, like, let's just start at the beginning. Mel goes on this Go Blue podcast. It gets revealed, found out by, was it She's All Batch? There was a podcast that, was it Claire and Emma? I forget who.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Talked about it first, but he went on this podcast, and that podcast was out for like a month before anybody heard it or knew anything. Wow. They found it out.
Blessings, whoever found it. She's All Batch or Claire and Emma. Blessings.
And then the whole fucking Bachelor Nation ignited on fire. You can't fucking have this guy as a Bachelor. Recast. Everyone is saying that, and ABC is like, fuck you. He's good. We'll use him. Huh? And guess what? The lowest rated Bachelor product of all time by a large margin. We are talking half the ratings of like Joan Vassos's Golden Bachelorette season, which up to that point was the lowest rated Bachelor product of all time. Just stupidity upon stupidity. And then why even choose him in the first place? After you see his performance, which I think might have been hampered by the fact that he knew Bachelor Nation, knew about the podcast, and he was like, shit, I can't say anything else that's going to get me in trouble. Maybe that's the case, but he is death on screen. Like, he's not
Literally.
giving any facial. Oh no. Did you see that Jesse Palmer, the thing that where he posted, you're not on social media. Jesse Palmer.
I was sending my sister, bless her. She sends me everything. That's how I stay up to date, because I get ding, 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 ding. Yeah. She sends me everything. So bless her.
Okay. So you saw the Mel Owens vampire sleeping thing.
One of my deep feelings in this season was that Jesse Palmer hated him. I feel as if he couldn't stand him. Their energy together was rough. And I have never seen a man be able to sit in silence like Mel Owens.
I was giving him my face plays of the week almost every week for doing nothing, for being a stone face. Like when Cindy was like, I'm falling in love with you. And it just cuts to him. I was like, that's fucking talent. To have no reaction to somebody you've known for 2 weeks saying I love you is like
unbelievable.
fucking...
The cinematic masterpiece that was him sitting in the chair with the fireworks
Under the
exploding
fireworks.
behind him.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever seen Put It in the Loop. Like, it was so beautiful. I could not explain how I felt about that moment. And I think that Jesse hated him because Jesse would sit there and try to, with all the other leads, it's like, hey, we're going to, on camera, at least we're going to go back and forth. We'll go play a round of tennis. We'll go play some golf. And Mel's just like, no.
Totally.
You don't want to hang? And I just know it in my spirit that Mel was just like, you think I want to pass the football around with that guy? He's nothing compared. Like, it was,
exactly.
No, there was a weird
you were a backup quarterback for 3 years. I played 10 years. I started for 10 years in a row as middle linebacker. One of the greatest teams of all time.
And not only did his season tank, he performed a feat that I've never witnessed, where this man refused to budge on anything, that he created a new version of a proposal that was a non-proposal. And they tried to kind of sell it to us like it was a proposal, and they made it look like it, and it's like a promise ring. And I'm like, he's a mastermind. He got onto the show regardless of everyone freaking out. He created a non-proposal proposal.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything he didn't want to do. He refused. He wouldn't touch those damn stingrays. He was like, I will not.
I'm not doing this. Well, back in the early days of Bachelor, there were some other Bachelors who did non-proposals. Jerry O'Connell, for example, season 7, he essentially, the finale happens and he's like, I want to keep dating both of them. So he kept dating each of them up until the live after the final rose, where he dumped one of them, but did not propose to the other one, if I remember right. Just kept like dating her. Dark Lord Palmer himself did not propose. He gave a plane ticket to his ring winner and said, let's hang out. There have been other instances of that, but they have really like sharpened it in the modern era where like you have to fucking propose.
You have to. Now, question.
Brad Wilmer.
Has anyone though ever given a ring to someone and it not be a proposal?
God, I want to say yes, but certainly not in the Golden franchise. But the bigger thing I think with Mel, like ring aside, is he openly stated, I don't want to get married or even engaged. I just want to keep dating. And it's like, did anyone interview this guy before they said you're the Golden Bachelor and tell him what the premise of the show is? I
don't understand. I don't know what dirt Mel has on somebody in an executive branch there that kept him, and they had him around. I mean, I kept going back to the idea that Pascal, people didn't want him to become the Bachelor because he made the comment about wanting to date younger women. And I'm like, Pascal at least would have been way more entertaining. Offensive about only dating us younger. Yes, but entertaining at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd feel something.
Yeah, they could have set him up to be like, oh, this is going to broaden his horizons, change his mind or something like that.
Sure.
At least that's a narrative for him. This one was, this guy said all this shitty stuff about literally the premise of the show. We're going to use him anyway. And you're like, okay, we'll give him a chance. They force him to do the apology, which we were clamoring for. I made so many videos about that. That's like, you have one chance to potentially save this. He has to apologize immediately to the ladies, to the audience, to like fucking everybody. And they did do that. Didn't work.
Yes.
But in the end, it's like, I just don't, look, there's only two possibilities here. One is they interviewed him and they said, at the end of this, are you going to be able to propose to somebody? And he said, nah, I probably still need to date him. And they were like, good enough. Fuck it. That seems unlikely to me. I think he probably lied to them. He had to have, right?
That makes me more obsessed.
But I mean, like, they're not, if you sit down and they're like, listen, we're thinking about Golden Bachelor. You're on paper, you're great. Ex-NFL, you're a lawyer now. You live in OC, so we know who you probably voted for. Like, that's all good. We want that. Can you get married? Are you ready to get married to somebody that you meet in like a 2-month span? He has to answer that question, yes, or they don't put him on the show, I think.
Maybe during conversations, he fell asleep with his eyes open. And so they thought he was just staunchly
He's like
agreeing.
nodding. Oh, they think he's saying yes, but he's literally nodding off. He's like, Did I just agree to something? He wakes, the papers are signed. Well, you said you do it. Yeah, I don't know. The season was it was disaster. And the sad thing about it to me was the level of player in this season was fucking through the roof. Every person on it, every player was like a superstar caliber player.
Yes.
And getting to watch them kind of go head to head was at least entertaining for me. I just think they got like the raw end of the stick. I want to see more of Nicole, who came in to be a fucking influencer. Said she's dating America. Holy shit.
I mean, Nicole was one of the more like top 10 memorable characters for me ever on the franchise, ever. And she didn't get her moment to shine because it was the lowest rated season. Or watched season. You know, my mother applied.
Oh my God.
My mother applied before she knew it was Mel. Right out the gate, she applied because she was hoping for one of the other Goldens from Jones' season.
Did she get deep?
And no. And I take that personally.
Yeah.
Franchise, I take it personally. But I told her, I said, listen, at the end of the day, you saved yourself because it would have been Jerry Gary Turner, or it would have been Mel. And neither, that's going to be no good on either end. So maybe we stop applying.
I don't know what they're going to do with the Golden franchise after this. I mean, this season was like a legit disaster.
Yeah.
I think they have Cindy is lined up to be a fucking impeccable, fantastic,
that's the Bachelorette.
Possibly like genre defining lead.
Yes.
And I hope that she, remains single long enough for that to happen selfishly. But I also hope that she finds her guy immediately and lives a happy life.
Of course,
for her sake, but for our sake, stay single for another year.
An incredible that exit interview on after the final rose with her was a 10 out of 10 Bachelorette, Golden Bachelorette moment.
Absolutely, and set up for her inauguration speech to be like, look, if you saw my season, I'm fucking serious about this. So if you ain't, kick rocks right now. No harm, no foul. But if you stick around and I find out you're fucking with me, I'm going to murder you. I can't wait to see that, And maybe she will bring some eyeballs back to the Golden part of the franchise. I don't know. This season was just like, other than me appearing in it, wearing, by the way, my
bring it
official Latia Gar. Come on now.
Bring it out.
Other than that, it was almost unwatchable in terms of his involvement in it and just the idea that like they allowed this to happen.
Yes, I could not remove myself. I could not remove myself from that interval interview or before season. I was out. I was completely out. And so then I thought, well, again, recap podcast. I'm like, well, this might be fun because we can have commentary that's negative and not feel bad. You know what I mean?
No,
so
totally. But nobody was watching the show.
Exactly.
So it's like, they don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
me and Lizzie were had that same problem. We were like doing all these recaps. It's like, does anybody even know what we're talking about? And then Mel didn't want to play with the stingrays. It's like, huh? If you're not watching the show, you don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Touch the stingrays now.
Yeah. Speaking of a product that I guess a little more people watched this than did Golden Bachelor Season 2, the number 2 most important moment from 2025 in Bachelor Nation was, of course, Bachelor in Paradise Season 10. We took a whole year off from Paradise in 2024 after the disaster that was 2023's Season 9 that ended with 3 forced engagements that all ended, I believe, 2 business days after the final airing of the finale, as they were all contractually obligated to stay in them, including Kat Izzo with John Henry Spurlock, the deep sea welder. She wound up with Dale Moss. They're now broken up in the Season 10. But the biggest thing, yeah, I think this is the biggest thing about Season 10, was this is Scott Teddy's first Bachelor product that he show ran. He's a brand new showrunner after Claire Freeland and Bennett Graebner are pushed out. They bring in Scott Teddy. He was a showrunner for Summer House, and they basically give him the keys to the kingdom. I think Season 10, Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 for him was kind of a trial run. Let's see how you can handle this. And then I think the network probably said, here's what you got to have. We want the Goldens. We want challenges like Love Island, and there's got to be a money prize. Figure it out. And he's like, what the fuck? What is this? You just gave me a mess of shit and you're asking me to spin it into fucking gold. So I don't begrudge him the product that was made. There were moments of it that were like brilliant and it looked good at the very least. Like it was zhuzhed up, you know. But what a mess. What a fucking mess.
I agree with you that it looked good. It was beautifully shot, but it left me the way that it was shot, the music. I felt very uneasy the entire time. And I felt like I was watching White Lotus and at the end, someone was going to die. Like, that's what it felt like. Like, there's no money prize. They sacrificed one player. Yeah. That's what it felt like for sure to me.
Totally.
But there were definitely moments that I'm like, if this were flushed out, I'd be very interested in it, because I think the thing for me, you know, here I am out here reading all these romantasy books, but where I start to lose interest a little bit sometimes in these shows is towards the end when everyone's like happy and in love. A little bit like, no, I like the beginning. I like the excitement. I like the drama. So I liked the concept of keeping the drama moving with games, but I just kept feeling like, why did we stop bringing people in? If we kept bringing people in while we're playing the games, that would be so very exciting, because all of a sudden someone's head would turn and, you know, then we're getting all this drama. But then the money at the end didn't make any sense. Correct. I've never seen a sloppier money situation. Like, what was happening? Nobody understood. And then it's like, here's a platter and here's a platter and take one of the envelopes. It was like, what is this?
The platter, like, I didn't get the platter at all. I barely get the, okay, you can choose to stay together or take the money. And it's like, clearly this is bullshit. You have to stay together to get the money. So we're going to do that. But now it's like, you don't get all the money. You get the amount of money that's in one of 3 randomized envelopes. Good luck. And by the way, the whole game could have been manipulated. You could have pre-arranged, we're going to break up, I'll get the money, then we'll date after the show and split the money, which everyone should have done.
Every single person. But I understand the fear of the audience retribution if that were to happen. I will say, on a positive note, I could be wrong here, but the vibe that I'm getting is that the players, since the changing of the guards, that the players on set are happier.
Yep.
The fact that they have their own space, or, you know, a roommate, that they're not bunk beds, that there's air conditioning, that they're in, you know, a livable situation where they're able to like go and take a nap sometimes if they need to. It's felt like coming off of the show, a lot of the players feel less animosity for the franchise than they used to. So hopefully they're getting taken care of better.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the best things about BIP 10 was like a different treatment of the players. I don't think it was where it needs to be. Certainly structurally, that show, again, just a giant fucking mess. But I don't think that that's necessarily Scott Teddy's fault. There were some mechanics in some of the games that are his fault, or at least his production crew's fault, his team, you know, his producers. But, you know, he just got forced to do all this crazy shit that does not match. And it's like, wait a minute, now the Goldens, but are they supposed to date with the young? Yeah, see if you can make that happen, I guess. And it's like, what do you mean? But they're coming in late to the game. So now even like in terms of the money prize too, it is completely unfair. Anybody who's been there from the beginning and had to dodge all these bullets has a way harder path to that money than anybody who comes in later in the game. They shoot it outside of America, so game show laws don't apply. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Traders is the same thing. If you watch like Traders season 3, Boston Rob comes into the game in episode fucking 3. So he's missed 2 eliminations. It's like, well, that's way easier for him then.
Right.
You know, it just doesn't, it makes no fucking sense. These games that have like money prizes and it's supposed to be some kind of fair game they're playing, if they're shooting it outside the United States, that shit's out the fucking window.
Yeah. It's just all like, who's the lucky one who gets chosen to get the money, right?
Yeah, basically. It's like Beast Games is like that. He just gives the money to his friends.
Oh, God.
Speaking of things that are changing in Bachelor Nation, let's get to our number one most important thing that happened this year in 2025 within the nation. It is, of course, the announcement that we are getting Taylor Frankie Paul as our Bachelorette. Her season is about to end shooting right now, and it's going to air March 22nd. It's fantastic news, kind of covered in a bunch of shitty news, in my opinion.
Please relay.
Yes, the juicy core of this candy that we're going to bite into is going to be fantastic. I personally believe, after now watching every episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that Taylor Frankie Paul is a kind of once in a generation player who has every tool at the highest level possible and understands contemporary media in a way that I don't think we've ever seen a lead understand it. She's coming into the franchise with more followers on every platform than any lead ever has in history by a massive margin. She currently has her cell phone on her. She is making social media content while shooting the season. And it's content, by the way, that paints the producers as her lackeys, that she is in control of all of them. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think she's going to revitalize the entire franchise. I think that season's ratings are going to be through the fucking roof. Everyone's going to be watching it. And I think she's going to deliver. All of that is good news. It's also kind of strange news, I should say, I guess, because the ABC reality slate now is basically just Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They're in every ABC show. They're dominating all of it, you know?
Right.
It's like, well, I guess that's just what they're doing now. And does that mean Bachelor's just going to be, they have to pluck somebody else from that show for the next one?
It's all Secret Lives. I don't know. Interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of detangle from the franchise once her season is done. Because whoever the next Bachelor is, I assume will come from her season. So that's still kind of tangentially going to be related. If he's friends with the ring winner who winds up now being in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 4, you know, like it's all kind of, it's becoming the same show a little bit. And I don't know if that's necessarily good long-term for the franchise or not. That said, this decision to cast her is the right one. This is what the franchise needs. So just a big boost, shot in the arm, like, fuck it. This is going to be crazy. What it means though, is we don't get a Bachelor this year. So now we're just getting a Bachelorette out of nowhere, thin air. There's no string to why is, you know, she the Bachelorette. Wow. I get it. She's famous, but we don't have now the first half of the story. We get the back half, but not the first half.
Right. That's
strange to me. And does that mean we're now on this pattern where they only do one per year, which is bad, I think. I think it's death to the franchise ultimately.
That's interesting. I didn't think about then the one season that's going to be happening. I do know I was shocked when I saw that it's not airing until March 22nd, and I went, "Oh God, what are we going to cover on the podcast?"
Yeah, well, like, there's a bunch. There's Traitors. There's Love Is Blind.
We've got Traitors, and then we're going to go through Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because we haven't watched it yet. So I'm like, okay, I want to prep
so good
because I don't know anything about Taylor Frankie Paul except for her initial TikToks. When all the drama on TikTok initially started, with the swinging and whatnot, that's what I knew about when it was happening. But I knew bits and pieces. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like they've been talking for years, always hinting for years that they were going to have like a proper celebrity be in the role as the lead. And I feel like a lot of the people that they threw, like names were thrown around, were more like, you know, whether it be athletes, whether it be actors, whatever. I think the right choice is a reality TV star because you're going to get way better TV than having an athlete or an actor come on who this is their 100%. First rodeo in a reality TV space.
100%.
Such a better
Bachelor
call.
Is a reality show. You need a reality star. And there is crossover. Obviously, there's some actors who are great reality stars or musicians or whatever who just kind of have the gift. But like Taylor Frankie Paul has honed this shit over about 5 years-ish, I guess, since Mom Talk really blew up to when the show's on. She's had 3 seasons of a fucking reality show being the main character, being literally the, quote, leader of Mom Talk. She's the star of the show. She's been through the ups, the downs, the tears, the arrests, like all of it. She is like at her peak. She is primed for this. It was almost like she is born for it. I cannot wait. All that said, they're moving it to Sunday nights. What the fuck is that about?
I was very distraught when I heard that. I go, no, this is my weekend.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't want to watch reality on a Sunday. I got to watch it midweek.
And also, like, are people having viewing parties on Sunday nights? You know, it fucks
Sunday
with
night,
the culture of the show.
It feels like a bad choice. Yeah.
I agree. And I don't know, like, why are they doing that? What's the purpose? We'll never know. I don't quite get that. Like, there are certain decisions around it that I'm just like, but why? Why are you waiting this long in the year? Why isn't there a Bachelor leading into it or a Bachelor after it? I doubt they'll have time in the year to do it. There may be another Golden. There's probably going to be a BIP, but I doubt we're going to get the other big main game, you know? I don't know. So I have very mixed feelings about the kind of things surrounding it, but I think she's going to crush it. I think she's going to be, you know, probably the most popular Bachelorette we've ever seen.
Absolutely. Do you have, if you were living in a perfect universe, a Bachelor who you would choose?
From her season?
No.
From Secret Lives, you mean?
No, I'm talking anybody, like reality TV, whoever you think would be like the ultimate Bachelor.
Nick Viall. I'd bring him back. I'd force him to divorce Natalie Joy. I'd make him the Bachelor. No, I think, God, that's a good question. You know, Chalamet comes to mind. I think he'd be interesting. I mean, there's a bunch, just any kind of like younger, famous guy, I guess. You know who'd be an interesting one? Tom Sandoval. You think they'd ever do that?
Can you imagine?
No, I mean, I have imagined, I guess.
Imagine?
Yeah. Who do you
imagine? First of all, I'm like a little like shocked. Just you saying Tom Sandoval, I was like fell out. Tom Sandoval's artistry on Traitors was unbelievable. I think about it every day. And fun fact, I was out doing some karaoke with a friend numerous months ago, and guess who walked right in and started hitting the mic?
Where were you? What karaoke spot?
Well, my friend wanted to go for her birthday to Jack's, which I was feeling my thoughts on Jack's a minute ago. I was like, I don't want to go to Jack's, but I was like, okay, it's for your birthday, we'll go. And it was dismal in there. It was empty. It was haunting. Yeah. I felt like I walked in and I go, I don't want to support this place. But then I'm like, I feel like I'm an adventurer exploring some sort of new cavern that I'm making my way into. Bat pops out. It's Tom Sandoval. I'm just like, shit. It was just quiet in there. And then Sandoval walks right in and starts ripping some Creed. And at one point,
can you take me higher?
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then at one point, he was singing California, but it wasn't, he started singing, it wasn't in the key he liked.
Yeah.
There was a moment where the DJ needed to adjust, and it was a tense moment. So.
Wow. That's fascinating. You know, I think Jax's bar eventually will become kind of like the Rainbow Room was in the early 2000s. If you would ever go there and just see like these old rocker guys who are like in their 60s, just having a beer, hoping to get recognized. I feel like his thing will be like that for reality players.
You know what? That's a great parallel. That's an incredible parallel. Take me to Jax. I was resistant because, again, I want nothing to do with supporting the man, but take me to Jax in 30 years and let me take a spin around the room.
I think it's like 10. You're going to be seeing that shit, you know.
I want to be in my 70s and seeing like a Sandoval, like, you know, a 75-year-old Sandoval being like, when Ariana, you know, God, what I would give.
I punched Nick Viall in the face on Special Forces World's Toughest Test Season 2.
Oh, that is a season I watched. I watched Special Forces. Honestly, another reality TV fame moment was JoJo Siwa carrying Nick Viall across her back.
Unbelievable. That season had so much in it. Tyler Cameron projectile vomiting from running too hard. So much good stuff in that.
An unbelievable season. If anyone hasn't tuned in, definitely worth the watch.
I love Jack Osborne like the whole time he's like, look, guys, I've done special forces training. I know what I'm doing. Okay. And then like he clearly can't hack it. And he gets a medical disqualification and he comes into the rest of the group. He's like, well, guys, medical DQ, not my fault, but can't do the show anymore. He's like happy, but it's like, medical DQ, it's not me. I'm not quitting. They're telling me I can't do it. And you're just like, come on, dude.
Oh my God.
But that's it. That wraps it up. You know, congrats to Taylor Frankie Paul. She is our number one most important moment of 2025. She'll probably be our most important moment of 2026, if you really think about it, depending on what happens. But I wish Scott Teddy well. I know the season is almost done in terms of physical production. They will then begin the edit. They will then begin the marketing, et cetera, et cetera. But I hope that this season pops off. And I hope that Scott Teddy is truly the steward of the franchise that we need, because we haven't had a good one in a long time.
Take
But
care of the people.
Yes, indeed. Take care of the people. Try, if you're going to do this season, to, God, I don't know. I'm just like, are there any guys on this season that have restraining orders? Are we going to see that?
That was the other thing I was just about to say. I was like, take care of the people. And I'm like, oh God, also please vet these the cast as well. Like, my God. I don't think I can. I just like I can't keep watching a show that it's like halfway through, all of a sudden you find out and you're like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you're putting your lead in what, and the other cast members in what position with who? I
agree. Well, in that vein though, Taylor Frankie Paul, have you watched any of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives yet?
No, but I have heard.
Yeah.
Restraining orders?
Not restraining orders. She's arrested for domestic violence in episode 1 of season 1. So I'm not, this is no spoiler. This is like her story basically in season 1. So that has happened. She went to jail. She was arrested. She is now the Bachelorette. There have been some people in the nation who are not happy about that. They feel it's kind of a double standard type thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll say this about it. However you feel about like casting someone like that as a lead, if you watch all 3 seasons, a lot of the seasons are about her kind of journey from this rock bottom place to doing the work and making the apologies and like becoming a better person. So at least that is part of her narrative, I guess. It's not like a dirty, dark secret they're trying to hide. In fact, it's very well televised, you know.
Oh God. Well, then I don't know how this is.
I know it's fucking wild, but I think that's why it's going to be so popular, is because she's such a polarizing figure.
Yeah.
Some people hate her. Some people love her. I'm kind of like down. I don't really like ever have any kind of moralistic attachment to any of these reality players that I don't know personally. I'm just like, is she a good player or not?
Yes.
She's a fucking LeBron James. She's got it all. Her face play, just even like the little things that reality players have to do, she fucking crushes them all. Her face play is insane. I can't wait for you to watch the seasons.
We're gearing up. I'm like, okay, like I need context. Even with you saying this, like episode 1, what? Like I need to go in having a history with Taylor Frankie Paul so that I can vet out my feelings and thoughts before watching this individual
and the other players
on the show,
because some of her buddies are going to, I'm sure, be in this season. Some of the other housewives, and maybe, do I have it? Maybe you're going to get some members of Dad Talk showing up as well.
You have a Dad Talk merch.
Oh yes, I do. Oh yes. Anyway. That is our top 10 moments of 2025 in Bachelor Nation. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Jess, for joining me for this countdown in Lizzie's stead.
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it is always an absolute honor to be asked to be in the presence of the Gore crew, the Gore audience, and, you know, sitting in place for dear Lizzie, sending my love to her and the family. Always an honor.
As are we all. Please, everybody, go check out your mom and dad. Hilarious episodes as always. You guys kill it, and you just wrapped up season 9 of Love Is Blind. Is that right?
We today is the wedding reunion episode. Yes, we are just wrapping it up. We had a great time with it. I always say, listen, you all are the artistry, are the sports, are the analysis work of the games, and we are just talking and shooting the shit. It's the uneducated opinions of the often saying the wrong name. So if you like that type of stuff, you can check it out.
Okay. That reunion was wild. You guys already watched it?
Oh, yes.
The fucking basketball thing just out of nowhere in the middle where they're playing basketball for a ring. I was like,
and then Chris Paul being like, no, Patrick, you got to give her the ring. And I'm like, Patrick didn't consent to giving her the ring during this hoop. What's happening? He just got the ring back.
It was just such a fucking mess. That show also is just a beautiful disaster every season now. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Thank you again, Jess. And
thank you.
Everybody have a great holidays. We have some more episodes coming out over the next couple of weeks that Lizzie and I have pre-recorded, answering a bunch of questions. We're also going to play some historic episodes of Gore that were kind of important over the last couple of years, including our recap of, I believe it was episode 3 of Golden Bachelor season 2. That was my appearance in the document. So enjoy that stuff. All right. We'll see you later.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.